Our buddy Eric Hutchinson is coming to town October 4th at the Birchmere. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Eric Hutchinson. Eric!
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm coming in hot this morning.
Tell me, why are we coming in hot this morning?
I'm just kind of sweaty.
Oh. Dude, you know what I can't believe? I can't believe that. So you're coming to the Birchmere, and it's all part of your Sounds Like This 15. It's the 15th year of Sounds Like This. I can't believe that record is 15 years old.
Tell me about it. Yeah, it's my first album, and I'm playing 15th anniversary, and I've been celebrating it all year and doing different shows and playing the whole album and doing all kinds of other fun things. But yeah, I was trying to think just before I got on this call. I mean, that means I've been talking to you for probably 15 years, 14 years maybe. I don't know.
Say 16. That way it doesn't look like we glommed on after the record took off.
Oh yeah, you're right. We've been on this for much longer.
But man, it's
been a reflective year for me.
I can't believe it's been, when you think back, I can't believe it's been 15. It's fun. Hey, how is the like when you've done shows, like you said, you've been celebrating it kind of for the year, and the record was so big and the record was so successful. But has it been kind of a fun memory lane, not just for you, but for people while you're touring around playing it?
Yeah, I think so. I got people that they'll come out to the show and say, oh, I haven't seen you in 15 years. And then they'll leave and be like, see you in another 15 years. And I'm like, you could come back sooner. You don't have to wait that long. But yeah, it's been cool. There's been some folks that I haven't seen in a while that came out, and it's been just kind of a fun thing to do. I wasn't sure about how I'd feel doing it all, but to me it was a very important album. To most of the world, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But I enjoy getting to play the songs, and there's a lot of people that the coolest thing is when people bring their kids who are like 17 or something, and the kid's like, I've been listening to music my whole life.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. I mean, in a weird way, where it's like that's very complimentary that like that was such a part of their entire life, and then you go like, oh, awesome, thanks, that's all right, very good.
Yeah, no, but it is cool. It's cool to I just know about all the music that I love sharing with my family and my parents and everything, so it is cool to be a part of a family, tradition or something. So that part's cool. And then there's also people that are just like, man, where have you been for 15 years? I don't know what's going on.
By the way, Eric, some quick research out of the statistician's booth. Your first visit was May 2008, the same month the record came out.
Wow. That's amazing. So you guys were right there.
Absolutely.
You were right there.
Absolutely.
Early adopters.
True or false? And like you said, this was a very important record for you. This was a big record for you. But did I read kind of like you said, kind of like looking back at that time, that you almost didn't even do this record, that it was right before this record you thought about just bailing on music?
Yeah. I'd been through the ringer a bit already. I'd been doing it for a couple of years, and I got signed to a label, and I was very excited. And then I got unceremoniously dropped, and I just spent some time being like, maybe that was it. Maybe that was the chance. I got paid a little bit of money from the label, saying, it was like they had to pay me to terminate my contract, and I was like, maybe I just take this money and put a down payment on a house or something. I was moved back in with my parents. My mom may be listening right now. Hi, Mom. And they were always very nice to let me do that. But I just kept coming back to this feeling of like, I don't think I can move on to another chapter of my life unless I've made one album. And I never got to do it. And so I decided to use the money I got to self-finance and make the album I kept hearing in my head. And I finished Sounds Like This, and I had no idea what to do with it. And then I caught some lucky breaks, and it changed my life.
Hey, do you ever, and maybe you don't, maybe the answer is no, but do you ever
The
go?
answer is no.
All right, very good. All right, well, Eric, thanks for calling. No, do you ever try to go back and go, like during that time where you were like, maybe I just take the money from Maverick and I'll just move on and I'll do whatever whatever it's going to be, I'll go back home and live with my parents. Do you ever, in your head, do you remember thinking back, like, what were you going to do? Do you know?
That was part of the problem, I think, Elliot. I didn't have anything else that I felt like I would wanted to do. I mean, I'd been wanting to be a singer and a songwriter since I was like 8 years old, and I don't know. Like I said, I felt like I hadn't gotten a fair shake at it, and if I just kind of went on with my life without ever actually putting out an official album, that I'd always kind of just wonder. So I was like, I got to just try this, and if it still doesn't work, then maybe I can go on to the next thing. But I've thought about it a lot over the years. I have no idea what else I'm good at besides this.
No, but that's good. No, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you're doing exactly what you were dreaming about and wanting to do. There's nothing. Listen, I have no idea what I would do if I wasn't a disc jockey. Think of what a pathetic statement that is.
You'd be able to do all kinds of things. You got the gift of gab, man.
Okay.
You'd make a great car salesman, just off the top of my head.
Telemarketing.
Telemarketing.
Hey, Eric, let me ask you this. So if you go back and listen to the record, or well, the record, but those are based on real experiences for you and real stories for you and real people for you. Have you reconnected with anybody from 15 years ago that the music may have been about?
That's a good question. Actually, yes, because I hadn't listened to the album in a while. I played the songs and everything, but I hadn't really like sat down and listened to the whole thing. So I did that, and yeah, I was really struck by it was the sound of me becoming a young adult and kind of going through some of the growing pains. But most of the songs are all about love falling apart, and there was a lot of the songs that were particularly about one young woman that I was very much in love with, and we were in love, and we were really good at just making each other miserable, and we broke up 6 or 7 times, and we get back together and back and forth, and finally I wrote this song called "It Hasn't Been Long Enough" that was supposed to remind me, like, stop getting back together with this person, like, you guys are maybe not great for each other. And then I debuted the song in LA, and she was there, and she was not a fan of the song. And so anyway, we lost touch over the years, and then I was getting ready to go out and do these shows, and I hadn't played that song in a long time, so I was actually like rehearsing the song, just practicing it over and over again, trying to get it back into my hands and my bones, and I swear to God, I was practicing the song all day, and I took a break, and I picked up my phone, and this woman that the song is about had just followed me on Instagram. Like,
shut up! Are you serious?
like through the ether, like she had heard me playing the song, and somehow been like, you know what? It's been long enough to bury the hatchet here. And she followed me on Instagram, and long story short, we're back together. That part's not true, but the rest is true. So she was saying, maybe I'll come to a show or something. So
is she Eric? If I can ask, is she a DC girl, or is this like after you had already left DC?
This was after. She was, I think she's up in Massachusetts.
I gotcha.
So, very lovely person. She's, got a husband and a family and stuff. I just, we were young and stupid, At least I was stupid. She was just young.
Right. No, I get that. Hey, let me ask you this. In conjunction with it being the 15th anniversary of Sounds Like This, you have also put the record out on vinyl for the very first time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my head I feel like that would have already. I'm not a big vinyl guy, just so you know, but I would have felt like, because you aren't you? Aren't you a big vinyl guy?
I've never let myself become one, because I think it would just take over my life and more importantly my apartment in New York. So I've never allowed myself to go down the road, really. But I love them. I love looking at them. I really love designing them. But I just I do not have a collection.
I don't know why, but in my head, I just feel like as a musician and as somebody that's as good of a musician as you are, that this would have been out on vinyl early on to begin with.
Yeah, I guess so. At the time when it came out, vinyl was very not cool, and it was all about CDs and even I did a lot of downloads, a lot of iTunes downloads, and I even iTunes video downloads. I found out recently I have the song "Rock and Roll" is a platinum video download, whatever that means.
What'd you get for that? What award comes with that?
I think I just I just feel proud inside. But that was a time where they were like, we can sell people. People will download and buy your song and download it, as opposed to just watching it on YouTube. But so I don't know. It didn't come out on vinyl, and I've always wanted to do that. And all that music I was really inspired by, like Stevie Wonder and the Beatles and Paul Simon. They were all vinyl artists, and so I definitely thought about how the album should be sequenced so it could eventually be, flipped over like a record. And so it feels cool to finally done it. And the response has been overwhelming. I mean, we're almost halfway sold out already, and it's only been 2 or 3 weeks of the initial press we did, and I wasn't sure what to expect. So it's been cool to see people want to have a part of it.
Hey, Eric, let me ask you this. So like now, like you said, like you can stream music, you can download it, or whatever it's going to be. Does it feel like a completely different record to you when you can hold it in your hands?
That's why I find it interesting. Some people will buy vinyl and not even have a record player. There is a thing though of like, I want a tangible evidence of the albums that I love the most, in the way that you'd have like a book collection at home or something. But like, I find that interesting where some people are just like, I just want my greatest hits. I want my favorite albums on vinyl so I can display them. And I do think there's a thing to that of like having something tangible. I mean, I always just loved it. I'm sure you were the same way. I just used to love listening to music and going through the liner notes and looking at the pictures
Sure.
and reading about it and studying it. So like in that way, I really love that thing. And it's a very, it makes it a very present experience. That's the other thing I hear from a lot of vinyl lovers. They like that you have to kind of pay attention and stay near the record player, and you got to flip it over. And, it's like you can't just kind of put it on and zone out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Hey, we played a song when you were coming on, Sad Songs. It's a new song, but isn't it also an old song?
Yeah, it is. It's it's a song I was playing a lot in 2008, and mostly I didn't have any other songs to play. I'd play my entire album, and then people would be like, okay, that was 38 minutes. What else can you do now? I can play a cover song, I guess. And then they'd be like, can you do do you have any new songs? I was like, yeah, I got a new song. So I play the song Sad Songs, which happens to be my wife's favorite song, and she's been bugging me for 15 years to record it. And so when I was going to release the album, I was like, it'd be it's kind of like a B-side from Sounds Like This, but I'd never actually got to record it. So I called up my old bass player and drummer that were touring with me back in 2008, and I had them come in the studio, and we had a nice day of reminiscing, and I tried to just make the song the way I would have 15 years ago. So it was a lot of fun. And so it's out in the world. It's called Sad Songs, and we've been playing it at the show, and the old school fans may remember it.
I'll tell you this, the horns are so good.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's a really cool group called Hunter Tones, and they're awesome. They're from Columbus, Ohio, but they're all based in New York now. And one of the guys, John Lampley, is a trumpet player who tours with OAR and does a bunch of stuff. So they're really awesome.
Hey, Eric, I saw an interview that you did with Mayim Bialik, who I had no idea that I feel like she would marry you tomorrow. She loves
Super
you.
fan.
Oh my God. Like, she loves you. Like, it made me feel bad. It made me feel like I hate you compared to how much she loves you.
I do often feel like you hate me, but I appreciate it. No, she was super nice, and it's just been she posted something like 10 years ago on Facebook or something that was like this really glowing review of Sounds Like This, actually, and just how she really loved it. And really like paying attention to songwriting, and I always just thought about it. I never talked to her or anything or met her, and so when I was getting ready to do this tour, I just reposted like a picture of that Facebook post, and I said, "This is an open invitation, Mayim, if you want to come to my show in LA." And she actually took me up on it. We ended up having a mutual friend that connected us, and she came out to the show with her very nice boyfriend, and we just chatted. She's just like a very down-to-earth person. You know, she has no business being a normal person. You know, she was Blossom. She was a child star.
Sure.
And she's on a massive show, The Big Bang Theory. You know, she's the host of Jeopardy. It's like she could really be a jerk if she wanted to, but she's just been very nice to me. So it's been cool to get to know her. Now we're kind of just pen pals. You know, we'll text pictures of our kids and just kind of chat. So,
but you told her a story, and I mean, knowing that you grew up here, and I'm assuming that when you were 8 years old, you were still here. But you told a very cool story about like being very early. I think the two of you were talking about like, was music always a part of your life, or when did you know that music was a part of your life? And you told a story about how when you were 8 years old, there was a teacher that kind of helped you write your thoughts down in the world of like what could be a song or parts of a song. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah. I've got the lyrics right here framed in my office actually. But yeah, it was a teacher named Mrs. Burnett, and I don't know, I was always just singing and making up songs, and she said to me, "Hey, you know," it was my music teacher, and she said, "Hey, I noticed you're always humming a song. Why don't you come in and I'll show you what we do with the song when we have it in our head." And she kind of notated it and wrote out the lyrics and the notes and the chords of the song to show me. I mean, I didn't really think about it till sort of more recently of how, you know, first of all, it was somebody just noticing that I was interested in that, but two, it was something showing me how to write down a song, you know. So it was very important and amazing, but I didn't really think I was that I didn't really think about how musical my childhood or my family was until I got to be in like 2008, and I started doing interviews with folks like you guys, and people were always asking that, like, "How long have you been doing music?" And I'm like, just like everybody, you know, my whole life. And
right.
We like music in the house, and so it was just very natural for me. But I've been very lucky to get to do it.
And then what is that? What is the high school project thing that you're doing with like talking to people from high school?
I just hang out at different high schools outside until they tell me to leave.
Hey, y'all want to hang out?
Yeah, it's not really a project so much as a hobby, and I'm not sure exactly, but I've been, you know, I've gone to some high schools, and I went to Montgomery Blair and as a student, and I've gone back a couple times to chat. If anyone's listening from Montgomery Blair, I'd be happy to come back and chat today and tell the young kids what it's like to be old. And but yeah, I've just, you know, I try to keep in touch with the youth and pass along my deep wisdom and advice.
Are we writing any new music or no?
Yeah. Maybe I'm always working on songs, or actually I'm working on. I'm announcing this. You're getting my official announcement.
Oh, hold on. I got to get a pen. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to be releasing a meditation holiday song this holiday season. It's a 10-minute instrumental ambient track that you can listen to during the holidays to clear your mind and meditate. It's just what all the kids are listening to these days.
Wait, so I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. Wait, so like, are you singing?
No, I'm not singing. I'm not singing on it. It's just instruments and a little bit of like ASMR kind of stuff. And
is that like where you talk really close to the mic, like, when she wants to rock, she rocks?
Yeah, that's actually a good idea for a whole album.
There you go.
But yeah, it's kind of, I'm not even sure. I might do a version that also has me talking, but it's kind of, I've been getting into this music of like, Brian Eno is like the biggest person who does it. Ambient music that you just sort of put on. It creates an atmosphere, and you're able to just like relax and or meditate or something. So I don't know.
Are you a big meditation guy now?
I try to do it. I don't do as much as I probably would like to, but I have found it really helpful. And it was, my manager was like, "What do you think about doing a holiday song?" And I was like, "What do you think about me doing a ambient instrumental holiday song that's 10 minutes long?" And he was like, "I think I want to quit." So that's coming. So I've been working on that. It's been a cool thing to do because it's very different. The whole point is to like kind of be bored while listening to it, which is the total opposite of what I always want from my songs.
Yeah, right.
So
is this because you're all like Mr. Pilates guy now too?
I'm getting older, Elliot, and
you're not old. Oh, stop it!
He said
please.
It makes him feel good though.
What, Pilates?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I love Pilates. I do Pilates with a bunch of. I do a class. I'm going to it after this. It's me and several people in their 70s and 80s, and we just stretch and talk about the restaurants in the neighborhood. And it's great. It's great. So I'm not old, but I'm oldish, and I like to do things to help relax.
No, good for you. Good for you. Hey, last thing. Did I see you post? You're down to only 3 baseball stadiums left to visit, and then you will have been to all of them?
Yes, that is true. I checked off Toronto earlier this year.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? I was surprised. How have you not been to Atlanta?
I know there's all the places I haven't been to the stadiums. It's Atlanta, Phoenix, and Tampa Bay. All 3 places that I've been to plenty, but it never worked out. Toronto, I made a trip and I actually booked a show around it. I was like, okay, I got to check off at least 1 or 2 this season. So who knows? Maybe I'll get to one more during the postseason. But Toronto was really nice. I was excited to go see it be like 1989 in there.
Right.
But they had actually just redid it over the summers or over the winter. So it was nice and new, and Orioles won. So all good.
And I'll tell you this, you'll love the Battery down in Atlanta. Like, I've been to that stadium. That stadium's great. Okay. You'll love that.
It's brand new, right?
Yeah, like that. But that whole area is so awesome, though. Like, that whole area is great. And then I've also I've seen the Diamondbacks play, but I've not been to Tampa. I can't help you there.
I mean, I've heard Tampa is not the nicest stadium.
Right, plenty of seats available.
Tampa fans.
Yes. But they don't draw that well. You know that.
Even though they're good,
Yeah.
Not as good as the Orioles, but they're good.
It's killing me. It's killing me, Eric.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, listen, Eric Hutchinson will be at the Birchmere on October the 4th. Birchmere.com for tickets. You can also get Sounds Like This. That is out on vinyl and available. Eric, I appreciate the time. It's always good to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for 15 years of a lot of fun chats.
May 2008. We were there before Mayim Bialik.
That's true. You planted the flag.
Thank you. All right, my friend. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks a lot.